Alright, part one. So, today is July 22nd, day two. So, how was day one? Well, definitely not at its greatest, but I mean, it's okay. So, I have a taste of what I'm really dealing with here, and it's a trip. It's a trip. I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to have issues with people here. Not saying I'm not going to keep going, though, but I really hate to say it, but I think early on I might start having problems with people just as time goes, because I'm already hearing things about bad coworkers. No offense to a manager, but I have a manager there who really does not seem to care about certain problems, so basically, it was okay. But third of all, I just don't miss cleaning. I really want to get out of cleaning. So I told my mom I'm giving it a few months to a year. Again, not that I dislike it. Other than that, I'm still gonna keep going. It's just I'm not gonna keep being a nervous wreck, and like if things happen, then shit happens. Cause so yesterday, um, I worked with. I've seen Felicia for the first time. Felicia was one of the managers there. I'm not too keen on her too much. She seems just a slight bit rude. Not to me, but just to people in general. So yesterday I fucked up and lost my time card. And I feel like that she kind of gets off on people at the slightest little problems. So I don't even know who the fuck my supervisor is, honestly. I don't even know who the fuck my supervisor is. And I have to talk to them to make sure all my stuff is on, all my pay stuff, all my I got to make sure I get paid. I got to make sure that I'm not going to get in trouble for not cuz I didn't clock in with my card. I only signed in, but I don't know what I'm doing. They kind of just threw me out there as soon as I got there. As soon as I got there, they started complaining to me already about not wearing my uniform, as soon as I got in, because my plan was to clock in and then go put on my uniform, but I guess they wanted on before, which makes sense, because round one was the same fucking thing. So they were like, "What's wrong with your uniform?" I'm like, "Nothing." And I come back, and then they're like, "Where's your badges?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go get them and come back." So they had me pair up with this guy named Kyle. Again, compared to Michael, way better. He seems a lot more likable compared to Michael from the arcade. I use Michael as an example because he's literally the worst guy that works there. By the way, he still works at round one. He still works at round one. They still haven't fired his ass. So that sucks. Round one, they keep him there. Stacey's still there. Pops Allen is still there. Dylan's still there. A few others are still there that I recognized, and I was like, "Huh, what a trip." That's kind of cool. But yeah. Anyway, so I work with this guy named Kyle, and he's clearly autistic. He's the high functioning one. He doesn't stop talking. He does not stop talking. He's nice, but he's strange. He's strange, but obviously because he's autistic, and that's not his fault. So he keeps telling me he has a dark sense of humor. He has a big ego, and I'm just like, oh my god, bro, what the fuck am I dealing with? But he's one of the more tolerable disabled ones. He's one of the more tolerable ones. And I worked with this cool person. I forgot her name, Alicia or something like that. She's a super cool lady too, but I was only working with her yesterday. Apparently today I'm working with another person named Jeannie or something, and I guess she's not very nice. I guess she's very bossy and lazy. And then she goes around telling people that Kyle's lazy and all that, and everyone's like, Kyle does his work. What are you talking about? So Kyle really does his work. When he gets serious, he'll get shit done when he's asked, you know. So he doesn't not do things. But from my experience, yeah, he's strange because his dark sense of humor. So he keeps joking about 9/11, which, you know, is not a big deal, and he keeps making sex jokes, which are very light compared to what I hear from most people. He'd be like, "Yeah, this door can fit an elephant's dick in the room," and I'm just like, "Please shut the fuck up already." You know, I'm just like, "Please shut the fuck up already." But people kind of like, "Whoa, bro, chill." You know, I'm just like, "Please stop." But he's a very friendly guy. He's a friendly guy. He's not like a perv or nothing like that. You know, he's autistic, so it's not his fault. But yeah, you know, he wants to play Siege and Xbox, but he's not. I don't want to play Xbox with him, you know, and I don't want to play Siege with him either. So I don't really want to do all that, you know. So, but the guy is clearly well liked around the kitchen area. A lot of people like him in the kitchen area. The kitchen people won't really talk to me too much, but again, I'm new, and I didn't really know what to say to them either. So, but yeah, he's like how I was at Amazon, except that he's actually talking to other people. He knows everybody's names in other departments. I do not. At Amazon, I did not talk to anybody else other than ABM. So, but yeah, so, is it stable? Yes. Is it something I want to do in the long run? Hell no. Hell no. But I don't have to worry about things not getting paid and done and dealt with, because, you know, being out of work for a couple weeks kind of fucked everything up a little bit. But supposedly I'm getting one more check on Friday. If I don't, then I got misinformed, because I'm supposed to be getting paid my sick pay, and I got paid last week my last check for the week before. So, but yeah, so am I fond of it? Not really, but am I just gonna have to stick it out? Yeah, for now. You know, it's only 7.5 hours of work, and it's 8 hours whole in total. But yeah, we don't have to go to lunch at a specific time. It's just whenever we get down and done. Obviously close to that 4.5 hour mark, 4 hour mark. 6:09. I might as well start grabbing my shit out. But yeah, you know, shit, they kind of started nitpicking me about my uniform and all that stuff on the first day. And I only seen and talked to Felicia that one time, and she didn't seem very welcoming. She just seemed like, okay, let's just get this over with type of vibe, which you don't do that to people on the first day. You don't do that to people. You make them feel welcomed. I didn't feel very welcomed. You know, that's for sure. I didn't feel very welcomed, but I get it. Dealing with a lot of disabled people will do that, and I'm not disabled. I just have a bit of a learning disability, which, you know, which is, I'm not trying to normalize it, but, you know, it's normal. But yeah, you know, and I work in easy areas. I'm not working in difficult, pain in the ass areas, and the day does go by relatively fast as long as you don't think about it. But what was the worst thing about the day? Well, I got my lead in trouble. I was on my lunch, and my dumbass decided, oh, let's put my cards with my phone. And when I would pull my phone out, my cards would fall out of my pocket. And I didn't know that. So my time card, my gate card. Thankfully, I found the gate card first, but I couldn't find the time card anywhere. And yeah, so I lost my fucking uh, punch-in card on the first day. I found it, but I lost it for a few hours. I lost it for like an hour or two, and we were just going all over where we backtracked to find this card, and I was just like, oh my god, bro, that is so fucking embarrassing, dude. Like, honestly, I was just like, you gotta be fucking shitting me, bro. So, as I was looking for this card, he split off on me. I didn't walk off on him. He split off on me. And Felicia, man, I'm a little disappointed. If she was a fucking person who worked with people like this for a long time, in the past, she was some kind of social worker or job coach or something like that helped children or autistic people or something. And she, I guess, cussed Kyle out and snapped at him. And PJ needs to be looking for it. He needs to be looking for it. And you need to be with him. I'm like, slow your fucking roll, dude. This is my first fucking day. Calm down. And that wasn't directed at me. It was directed at him. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. But I'm going to have to stick with it. Because, it seems like a lot on the first day. And I know every day's different. But if I can find something that pays better or an actual opportunity in the hospital, mainly at my mom's, but either or, that gets me the fuck out of cleaning, then I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna want to take it. It's but yeah. So this place, comparing it to the first day at ABM and the first day at round one, I have to say the first day at this job is one of the lower liking ones so far. But I just had to tell him, yeah, it's okay. How did you like your first day? I didn't, but I have to shut the fuck up and just bite my tongue. But I didn't tell him that because, everything just seems so confusing and like thrown at me, and it's just like, oh my god, like what am I? Like, what the fuck? They want me to keep up holding on to all this stuff. You gotta have your badge. And I get it, because round one was the same fucking way. So I'm not saying that was overwhelming, but it was an overwhelmingly first day is what I'm trying to get at. So. But yeah, so 6:14, I'm gonna continue grabbing my stuff out. So the pants they gave me, I do not like the pants they gave me, honestly. The shirts, they're whatever. I don't really give a shit for them too much. Not exactly. There we go. Yes, these fugly green looking uniforms. But yeah, I told them as long as I'm teaming with people here, I should be fine. Because, the areas we go to are low-key kind of discombobulated as well. Plus, no offense to them, they were complaining a lot about certain people talking about them, certain people about certain things. Like I guess the lady that wasn't there yesterday, but we're teaming up with the rest of the week. I guess she's not a nice lady. I guess she's very controlling. I mean, I guess she seems nice, but I guess she's kind of lazy and tries to get other people to get her work done. And she's 55, and I'm like, oh my god, bro, am I really gonna deal with a fucking one of these people again? Okay, so. But I'm gonna try to be nice. I'm just gonna try to do whatever I'm asked to do. And Yeah, because, I'm not for bullshit on my first week. I'm not for bullshit on my first week. And I told Kyle that I'm like, I am not up to start picking fights with people. And I explained to him that as long as, because so this also happened, that is also an issue on why I'm a little kind of with Kyle too. Again, with that high functioning autism. So again, with all of his dark jokes, apparently a joke I said was too dark. And he was like, okay, that's when I don't joke. Like, he doesn't joke because he's half black and half German. So I thought of a dark joke to joke, and he kept like pretending like he was doing a fake punch, like a fake out. Like, he'll walk up to me and pretend to punch me, and I'll just be like, don't punch me, I'm scared. And then I was like making a joke. I'm not racist. It wasn't even racist. I was like, don't punch me, I'm black. And he got offended by that. And I was like, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay, so he wants to make it, he made it clear that that's not what he jokes about, and that's not what he finds not funny. And I was like, okay, well, I'll tell you then this, Kyle. Because he's 20, I'm 23. I was like, okay, well, if you find certain things not funny, then no, I don't find certain things funny. So I told him, as long as you know where I stand, then I'll get where you stand. That's what I told him, and I put my finger on his shoulder, like I'll get you if you get me, because I told him I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of the managers. And he was like, yeah, that's valid. And I was just like, I won't joke like that because I don't know what his fucking humor is. So I was just trying to guess what his humor was. Clearly, he's like, oh, I'm black and I'm German. I'm like, I never would have guessed that. You look Hispanic. And he gave me that look like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, you look Hispanic. You don't look black. You don't look German. But, I mean, I seen it after he said he was black and German. He's like, yeah, I'm half black, half German. I'm like, I can see that, but it makes you look like a Mexican. So, but yeah, he, so, with that being said, I'm not going to try to stick around there for too long. I'm just going to give it a few months to a year. Most of the people are nice. They're just kind of awkward, and the managers, it just seems like an all-over type job. It seems overwhelming, but then Good Samaritan probably would have been the same. Who knows? But they have me in a super easy-ish area. They don't have me in a overwhelmingly toxic, gross, get me sick area. So, and then the keys, they give the keys to people who are level 2 and 3, which I am relieved to hear that, because I did not want to have to take care of the keys too. Clearly, if I'm losing my cards, I'm not going to want to fucking have keys. So, but, again, I found my cards. I found them all. So, I found them both. So, but yeah, so I'll make a video in my car as well. What are you doing, cat? What are you doing? What are you doing? You see this guy? What in the world? But yeah, so. But working 7.5 hours again was nice. It was nice doing that again. I don't want that to rip away from me doing 8-hour days, 8.5 hours. But ideally, I don't want to keep cleaning anymore. I'm just tired of cleaning in general. And I'm hoping that... Stop. Chill. It's hot in here, too. Move. But what keeps me going is the car payments, my debt, and the Rickenbacker that I'm trying to pay off, which I paid on Saturday. I made a few guitar videos, but they disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. I made a video on Sunday playing my guitar and talking guitar history and about the Rickenbacker, but for whatever reason, it's just not there anymore, which is so weird. I got 20 minutes. I really actually need to get to getting ready because, you know, yesterday I left at 6:45 ish, and it said I got there by like 7:24, so I had to haul ass to get in. So I got there at the right time. So as long as I drive right and traffic is right, it's 6:45. I can just leave then, so I don't have to sit for 10 minutes extra. But yeah. So my personal opinion, it sucks, but the pay is great, the benefits are great, holiday pay, the days are great, the hours are great, and ideally the areas are pretty easy compared to and as long as I got Kyle as lead, because Kyle knows what he's doing. The guy knows what he's doing, he just doesn't shut the fuck up. But he seems like a very nice guy on the other hand, and he's a very teachable person. He teaches, he has a sense of humor, but it's too much for me personally. But that's the thing about humor, is it's meant to be unfiltered, so. But yeah, so clearly I'm not gonna joke to the guy all that much, and I was told to just keep working even if he's talking, because I guess I was warned that he talks too much and he tends to take extra time on breaks. So I'm really hoping that he does not get me in trouble for that, because I'm gonna get pissed off. I've had so many. It's not their faults, that's the way they work. They conversate and go along as they go, and well, with Dom, I would always go up to him and talk. We would always bump into each other and talk. And then Michael would always talk to me all the fucking time, and we would have to team up, and it would make me look bad at the arcade. But I hated doing the bathrooms by myself, so, But the bathrooms are not as big by a long shot compared to the bathrooms at round one and the gym. So I am glad for that. The areas that we normally hit, the bathrooms don't look too bad. So, but I just hope this genie person doesn't step on my toes, man. That's all I really care for. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. No, get off my stuff. Yeah. Gotta get changed, gotta get ready, got 20 minutes. So, yeah. Bye for now. Day 2. I'll make an update on how it goes. And the beautiful thing is, I don't have to work there, but I need the money. So that's why I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and do it. Because I need the money, I need the pay, I need all I can get. I need the experience, but no, it's not a job I want to stay for 15 years at. 20 years and then try to, or 40 years and then retire at 60. Hell no. Hell no, it ain't that kind of job where I want to stick there for 5 years, no. As long as I can, but of course, find bigger, better paying work with experience. So, yep. Bye for now.